welcome to SASNZ TV. We've set this YouTube channel up for three reasons. First reason being is a monthly news section. So where basically we tell you what's going on in the club, what's going on in the paintball around New Zealand and around the world. Secondly, we will have tutorials, which will be a good way of getting new members to come in and also helping our old members. It'll be everything paintball, whether it be work on your guns, on your airlines, setting up projects at home. And the third one will be game days. We will have in-depth videos from game days of around New Zealand and also some around the States as well. So this being the first new segment, this is November 2018 new segment. I caught up with our President Mop a couple of weeks ago, and we sat down and we had a bit of a state of the nation. So we thought we'd lead off with that, so check it out. From here. Hey guys, welcome to the first SASNZ video newsletter. I'd just like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Tony, and I am the VP for SAS New Zealand.
And I'm the president of the New Zealand chapter, Tony McIntosh. Hi all. A couple of items we wanted to just talk about for a minute or two, just sort of make this newsletter easier to take in rather than reading something. I'll quickly go over my recent trip down south to Nelson for Assault on Armageddon 4, I think it is. Yeah, so it was a good trip actually. Lots of fellow SAS comrades down there and a good contingent of APC North Islanders. Thank God we did, because there wasn't many of us from the middle of North Island. Pretty disappointing actually from hometown, but we got down there and I think there was about 70 odd numbers, good weather, and those numbers made it actually a better event, probably my best one out of the three I've been to. A couple of good things happened there, and I think it'll build on for next year. So definitely make an effort, book it out now, get your calendar sorted for next year, and maybe book some flights. We'll put some money away and make sure you get down there, because there's only a couple of big events happening now, and you really got to make the effort. Tony's got a couple of things that he's going to mention about helping out clubs and recruitment.
Yep, so as we all know, Paintball Shop and Outpost 43 are no longer. So there are no brick and mortar paintball shops located in Auckland anymore. There are very few around New Zealand, as we all know. So I think one thing that we need to be vigilant is that if we see anybody at a game or online who is asking for help, whether it be with a mask or gun or paint, invite them out to a game. Show them what your marker looks like. Show them what your mask looks and feels like. Let them have a go. See what it's like, and then we can point them in the right direction to help them to order from overseas properly, so that people aren't getting ripped off. There's another thing we need to be very careful about too, is more people now will be ordering online, and a lot of people aren't that clued up on how it works and who to go to. So we need to start helping them out so that nobody's going to get ripped off.
Yeah, make them feel welcome, encourage them, point them into the Facebook pages, make a little bit more effort, because you know, without those shops and retailers sort of around at the moment, it's a good opportunity for us to pick up the slack and help people into the sport. Which leads us on to we're looking for people to liaise with squads or clubs and be a go-between between SAS New Zealand and clubs that aren't part of SAS but run games or open days, and we're looking for members of the SASNZ who also play at these places or know the guys that run them, to liaise with them and help or collaborate with them to run open days and maybe even organise events. So if you know anyone or you're interested in doing that, let us know, talk to us, and we'd be keen to get that rolling. We've got Daniel already working with APC, and a couple other guys we've got in mind as well. So will touch you on the shoulder. They don't have to be SASNZ members, okay? They can just be anyone that you know, in essence. That's just a recap on the Facebook. We're going to just moderate the comments and posts just to make sure that everything's positive, and that online we're all working it together, and it's a good vibe. Offline, we've got any issues, and you just sort of need to message Tony or I direct, or yeah, give us a call. We'll try and be in touch with most of the members on a regular basis as well. So yeah, we're just going to try and keep any needless sort of stuff off the public pages.
Speaking about keeping in touch with the members, it's about time that we went through and updated all the members lists, which Tony and I'll be working on over the next couple of months. Plus also we're going to start asking people what line of work they're in, so that we can actually set up a proper network throughout New Zealand. Because I know there's people that are builders and people that do labels for cars, people who do t-shirts, electricians. So it'd be great to actually start working with each other and getting work off each other. So as part of this next run of making sure that everybody's still a member, I will be asking what line of business you're in. You don't have to, but I thought it'd just be good if you want to get some business, look to get some business of other people in the club. Networking's always good, and I'd never ever turn it down.
Yeah, it's also good just for advice. You know, you don't have to necessarily be exchanging cash and money and stuff like that. But if you know someone within SAS that's got a skill or a service or something, you can always just give them a call, and it's good to get some advice or some second opinions from other people. Looking around at overseas trips and options there, Tony? Yeah,
so we've all, quite a few of us have actually spoken about this, and looking for 2021 or 2022 is actually getting off our asses and getting over to an overseas game. A lot of people are talking about some of the big games over in Europe. There's several in Russia, a couple in Scotland, some in Ireland, and some in the UK. And then there's also a couple of the big games in the States. I think my preference probably would be somewhere in Europe, and preferably one of the big Russian games. I mean, they have tanks and helicopters, and how could you not want to play that proper Milsim paintball with military vehicles? So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to a few people who are keen on going for a start and ask them to research some of the games around the world, some of the big games that look good, and we'll probably give them 4 or 5 questions to answer, and then come back to us with pictures and a little bit of a wording on it, just to see whether or not it's good, whether or not the flights are going to be accessible for a lot of people, and also whether or not people will want to go to it or not. Once we've got them back, then we can put it to a vote on which one that we'd like to go to, and then start working out numbers on flights, accommodation, how it's going to work, paint, getting stuff over there and there.
Yeah, so we'll try and have a couple of options by the end of the year that we might sort of narrow down on the shortlist if there's enough interest, and focus on a couple, which probably leads us maybe into A8A. Next year. So if you haven't heard, Armageddon 8 at WCT again, Rivers End. First weekend of Riverhead. Don't fucking go to Frobetsville. Yeah. Actually, maybe we should.
I'd love to.
Maybe we should.
I'd love to play.
There we go. Hobbiton. You know someone at Hobbitville? Let's hit them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, we want to see as many SAS members that can make it up there. If you need help getting there or don't have any idea what's going on, raise your hand, ask up. It's not a hard exercise to get your ass to a game, particularly if you know that people want you to be there, and we do. And again, got to take the opportunities whilst they're around, because we don't know what's happening every year. I think this might be the last year at this venue. and yeah, people are changing, things are moving around. So make an effort to get there, guys.
So we'll put up more details on the Facebook page shortly when we know what's happening and how it's going to work. I do believe there will be camping at WCT this year, and I'm not sure on price, but according to Dave, it'll be the same as it was last year. But once we get confirmation on that, Tony and I will post it up.
We'll probably have a meeting there, a little bit of a recap, just and where we're going again. So not a big deal, but there will be a little bit of a chat for members and bits and pieces.
Did you want to go into looking at the Nelson one and also the general meeting split over the two? So one.
Yeah, we would. Where we get as many members as we can to an event, it's obviously a good idea to have a meeting at the same time. Well, just to give everyone an opportunity to feel part of a bunch rather than online. So we'll take those opportunities as we get them. So they're not a big deal, but it just means that there's an opportunity there to have a meeting. If you've got something you want to talk about or put to the committee to bring up, by all means do. And we've got a couple of. We want to do something for SAS members that have travelled to the event and maybe put on a separate game or some other option for people on a Saturday night other than the normal. So we'll just look into that and keep you posted on that one. Try and keep that down cost-wise and make it a really cherry on the top for the event.
Yeah.
So still having a social catch up and natter, but yeah, maybe having something else to do as well after the Saturday's gameplay. We've got a couple of gear swag ideas that I'll let Tony talk about. Again, they're just some ideas, but these ideas take sometimes a couple of months to get actioned, so hence why we're on a bit of a run, I guess, leading up to next year and Christmas and so forth. So anyway, yeah.
So was this the offline uniform, was it?
Yeah, the having some other garment, top, t-shirt, hoodie for SAS members, and having a bit of local flavour to it, of course. But the rest.
Because we did discuss a while ago that we were looking at doing something like whether it was a polo or a t-shirt that we wore after the game to like the prize giving or just out and about, because we all know how badly wrecked our paintball shirts get from wearing them out on the field. The other things that we were looking at too was possibly a hoodie, a shemega, or a scarf of some sort. Other things we were looking at is probably patches as well. They'll be probably more for attendance for games, or possibly some other thing like the keyring that Tony organised for us when we went down to the last Armour, something like that, just so that you get something for attending a big event through SAS. So yeah, so we can have a bit of a sit down and figure out a few things on what we want, and then once we come up with maybe 5 or 6 ideas, we'll chuck it out on Facebook and everybody can basically have their say. We might even do a little voting thing on what everybody thinks, and then once we've done that, we'll probably work with Clint and then come up with a design.
So we could definitely have a couple of things anyway. We could have an off-field whatever uniform top thingy, and also a game souvenir. Yeah. So we're open to ideas too. If you've got some ideas or mates in the business of promos and stuff like that, then everything's open in a sense to what we do. I think that's probably not too bad for the first newsletter. Pretty informal, impromptu.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, you can. There's another one next time.
Yeah.
And it won't get any better, so don't fucking turn it off too early.
So what we're asking for also is for ideas, because we're going to run this monthly. Tony said that a while ago he posted up that we're going to do a newsletter. We're going to do it in video, Plus we're also going to cut the audio so that people can actually listen to it when they're at work or when they're out running or even in the car if you want. I don't know what the fuck you want to listen to us for.
Yeah, we'll probably maybe
we'll
probably go to a channel where we can post up game videos and some how-to videos, these newsletter videos, have them all in one place, and that's again just gives us a bit more credibility that we're actually alive and playing.
Yep. And if you send $20 through to the bank account number below, it'll stop Tony from singing the song.
Alright, welcome back. That was pretty good. If you've got any questions or you want any clarification or anything, hit either Mop up or myself up in the Facebook channel, and we can answer any questions that you want. So now I'd like to quickly go through just some sort of general business and some information. I know there's been a few questions out there about what's happening and who's doing what, and to be particularly honest, we'll probably be a little bit slack in that and trying to rely on Facebook and trying to get information out, and it's just not reaching the right people. So this medium here is what we're going to be using now on. Bit rough to start with, but like any new paintball player, it will get better, hopefully. But yeah, what we're looking at doing is new segments, telling you what's happening within SASNZ in New Zealand, and then also getting people from around New Zealand to do little video segments on news, and sending it in so that we can include it in this one. They probably won't run for very long, but the key thing is the information that we provide can be used for all the members. So the first thing I'd like to bring up are chapter captains or chapter leaders. Need you guys to be talking to your guys on a monthly basis. You need to at least catch up with every single person in your team once a month, find out how they're doing, what they're doing, if they're still enjoying paintball, if they're still enjoying being part of the group. If they're not, why not? We rely on you guys to get that information and feed it back to us so that we know what direction that we can take the group in. So it's imperative that you're checking up with them. If you haven't seen one of them for a couple of weeks, get on the phone, send them a text message, jump on Facebook, try and track them down to see how they're going. I mean, life does get in the way of paintball sometimes, but it's always nice to know that as a brotherhood, we're always there to help out. So any club member or your members have any issues or anything, they can let you know, and then you can let us know on the Facebook page, or if it's something that's a little bit higher than that in the leaders Facebook section, you can post something up there, or and at the end of this there'll be contact details. If a member has something that they want to talk to somebody like the president or the VP about, then they can send us an email and we will respond back to them. Second thing that I'll talk about is gear. So currently we have t-shirts available. We did have a company set up that was doing them, but then brother Clint Haslam has taken over and started up his own little business, so we will be putting everything through him. So currently we have t-shirts available, which are the proper SAS t-shirts. So if you want to order one of those t-shirts, then send him a private message, and he'll get some details off you, like what size, how many you want, what colour, and then from there he can do your order and then he can send it out to you. Or if you're in Auckland, or if he's going down to a game down the line, then he can drop it off to you. Beginning of next year we are looking at expanding what gear that we have in the way of clothing, so that we're looking at doing hoodies, we're looking at doing caps, and also beanies, plus we've also got some plans for a few other cool things that'll have the SASNZ logo on, so stay tuned for those. The other thing we are doing, as you would have heard in that video, is we are looking at doing a sort of an off-game article of clothing, whether it be a polo or whether it be a hoodie. We're not sure yet, so what we're going to do, either myself or Tony will set up a poll in the members section asking what people would like, and then from there we will go ahead, work with Clint, and we will make one. Now this one will be a little different. It'll still have the SASNZ logos on, but it'll be a little different than the generic ones, and these are so you can wear after the game to prize giving or out and about. So the second thing I'd like to bring up is liaison officers. So a while ago we talked about having liaison officers, and these people will basically be either part of SAS or closely affiliated with SASNZ. And they will work with the other paintball clubs just to see how they're going, what they're doing, and then also work to get them and us playing games together. Now we do have liaisons in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, but we're always looking for other people to help out. So if you can, jump on Facebook, let us know, and we can give you some details on what you can do. And then going forward in the news section, we probably will catch up with the liaison officers just to get a feel of what's happening in their area. So the SASNZ website is almost done. It looks like we're going to have it up and running for the new year. Working with Clint at the moment now so that we can get all the gear and all the pictures and everything up from it. You will be able to order everything via the website, and also we'll have a 2019 events calendar. So that will be updated on a regular basis, probably weekly, just so that everybody knows what area, what paintball games are playing. So following here you'll have a screen that'll give you all the contact details, and just remember that Facebook is great for catching up with people and also asking questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, and we'd prefer that you ask stuff out in the open rather than sort of talking about it with 2 or 3 other people and then Chinese whispers and nothing ever gets sorted out. I mean, we try and be as transparent as possible. If there's an issue or you need to know something, then just ask. I mean, no one's going to say no. Try and avoid everything turning into a flame war. But yeah, just post stuff up. If you've got a question or if it's not going how you want it to go, either talk to your chapter leader and then go up, or if you are a chapter leader, just hit us up and let us know how you're feeling and what you want changed. So that's pretty much it for this new segment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with a video that was shot probably about 3 months ago. Some of the boys from SAS Northern helped out AUT with their crisis conflict course. We were out for a day. We were basically terrorising a whole bunch of students. The reasoning behind us being out there and it being filmed was that they were trying to sell it to the AUT to make it a full-time thing, and with our help they succeeded. So this video here is just a short clip which was used to sell it to the head people at AUT. So thanks for watching. Like I said, it probably will get better. This is a little bit rough, but we wanted to get something up and running and out there, and we will basically learn from our mistakes. Feedback is absolutely required, and also if you have something that you want to do or a video that you want to do it, let us know. Dropbox is great because you can just send it to me, or you can either set it to be edited or unedited and tell me what you want, and then I can do it, and then we can get that up there. I'd like to see the chapters from Wellington and Marlborough and also Christchurch sending stuff up, so that everybody can be included. The intros and the outros, I do have to apologise, very limited pictures of a whole bunch of people from around New Zealand, which is my fault because I haven't been out to many games other than D7 where we've had a whole bunch of people go out to. So that will change at some point, and once we get more videos and more
No photos.
I'm reaching into my pocket to grab the papers. It's not something you would learn in an academic setting, and this is so practical, especially for a university environment.
I think there was one moment I was kind of lying down with my face against the ground. One of them was scraping a machete underneath me, and that was a bit close.
I firmly believe I wouldn't have grasped the concepts we were taught about in class unless I had a chance like this to actually practice it in real life. So it was just really, really valuable.